Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Swag here. You can also find me over at Daily Lakers. Today we're going to be talking about Los Angeles trading for Walker Kessler. This is my favorite move that I've heard so far this offseason. Walker Kessler is the perfect fit for this team because the Lakers right now, they have Anthony Davis playing the power forward. They haven't had a center next to him that's reliable since JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, the year that we won the championship in the bubble. So looking at it now, Christian Wood is a guy who's on a minimum contract. Yes, he was pretty damn solid when he played with LeBron and AD, but the issue is that he missed the last 30 games of the season. So when the Lakers needed Christian Wood the most, he was literally nowhere to be found because he was hurt. So going out there and getting Walker Kessler, he would be a huge addition to the Lakers. He protects the rim. He can finish around the basket. He's just 22 years old. He'll be turning 23 later on in this month. But he's a great rim protector. He's one of the best in the league. This is a guy who last season was all rookie first team, a guy that was invited to be part of a Team USA at the FIBA World Cup. Out of his draft class, only Jalen Williams has a higher win share than him. That ranks Kessler ahead of guys like Paolo Banchero, Keegan Murray, and Jabari Smith Jr. If he can come over to the Lakers for a protected first round pick and some sort of piece, like they probably would have to trade Shavino, if I'm being honest with you, because again, I don't see Utah just sending Walker Kessler straight up for a first round pick, especially a Lakers pick that could end up being at the end of the first round. I mean, assuming that the Lakers are going to be good that year, 2029. I mean, we don't really know what's going to happen then, but the Lakers certainly aren't going to have an issue of attracting free agents. I mean, this is the biggest market in really all of American sports. So honestly, I would do it if that was the price. The only other team that we've had reports of being linked to the Jazz is the Knicks, and the Knicks don't have the amount of picks that the Lakers do. I know the Lakers don't have the most picks in the world, but they have 2 first-round picks to offer. The Knicks traded all of their picks for Mikal Bridges. They do have a protected first from the Wizards and Pistons, but the chances of those conveying are really slim because they're probably going to end up turning into second round picks, which the Jazz certainly don't want. The Lakers can send over a first round pick with like a top 4 protection on it, like they did, of course, last time they traded with Utah. So this is just a no-brainer. I don't see any logical reasoning to why the Lakers would not do this. Kessler is an incredible young player. He's on a cheap contract. He does exactly what you want from a center: block shots, protect the rim, dunk the basketball, catch lobs. He even has a three-pointer, not a great three-pointer, but he can stretch the floor. His free throw percentage went up about 10 last season. So if he were to slide into the starting 5 next to Anthony Davis, that would be big because the Lakers ranked last in the league in offensive rebounds. Something that keeps getting talked about is how JJ Redick wants to shoot more threes. He wants to play faster. He wants to play better defense. But the Lakers couldn't rebound the basketball offensively, and I get that in the press conference when the Lakers introduced him, he did talk about their lack of offensive rebounding, but it's just time for the Lakers to actually start making moves and improving this roster because LeBron James and Anthony Davis are still 2 All-NBA players. Like literally they were both All-NBA. I mean, LeBron has shown no signs of slowing down on the offensive side of the ball. His defense absolutely coming off of a career best from 3, giving the Lakers 25 a game, was even better in the playoffs. And then Anthony Davis had an amazing season on both sides. I mean, he very well could have won Defensive Player of the Year and made All-NBA team. And the guy was just unbelievable, man, the numbers he put up. But the Lakers, they don't have anyone else outside of that, right? There isn't a third starter that is, I'm not going to say talented because I think D'Angelo Russell's a guy who has a lot of talent. But Jeremy Grant, for example, is a guy that the Lakers certainly have been trying to target and trade for, but like it's just Los Angeles, they're just running out of time right now. All these names are going by. We're in summer league right now and still no free agent has been signed to the Lakers. So it seems like they're just trying to come up with a plan, and I do think it's going to end up being Gary Trent Jr., but I just don't see him putting this team in a position to win a championship. I think Walker Kessler is good enough to do that. I mean, you're talking about a guy who last season he goes out there and he puts up very good numbers: 8.1 points, 7.5 rebounds, 2.4 blocks per game, shoots 65.4% from the field in 64 games. Per 36, 4 block shots a game, 13 points, 12 rebounds, which is just remarkably impressive. He's just a monster on a team-friendly deal. $2.9 million cap hit in the 2025-26 season and $4.9 million in 2025-26. If you think about some of these other guys, right, like a Nikola Vucevic, or a guy like a Clint Capella, a Brook Lopez, they're all making $20 million or more towards the cap hit. So for the Lakers to get a guy who's probably just as good as those guys, if not better, in my opinion, the asking price is reportedly a first-round pick. the Lakers could go out there and they could trade one of their young players, first round rookie last season, Jalen Hood-Schifino, who makes 3.8 million next season. You pair him and a first round pick to Utah. The Lakers could give up their 2029. I mean, that should be good enough to get Kessler, because not only are they getting a first, which is what they wanted, but they're getting a first round pick last year, a guy that went 17th. I mean, the Lakers obviously don't really have a future for Schifino because there's just not a lot of room for him in their rotation. If Rob Pelinka waits any longer to do this, then you're just risking him falling to the New York Knicks, and that's just bad because it's a team that the Lakers may have to play in the finals, right? Like, let's just say hypothetically the Lakers go to the finals and they play against the Knicks. Well, now they have Mikal Bridges and Walker Kessler to add to that defense. So just things like that. I mean, of course the Lakers are more focused on the West, but just letting Kessler go to another team that they're trying to compete for a championship with, East or West, whatever, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense, especially because the Lakers, they don't have too much to offer because they don't have a lot of finances to their payroll, because LeBron just signed a near 2-year max. AD's on a huge contract. D'Lo picked up his player option, and all the guys at the end of the Lakers rotation or bench ended up picking up their player options. So, I mean, giving those player options by Pelinka was just really foolish to begin with, but because of that, the Lakers don't have many options during the trade market, which is why we haven't seen them not only sign a free agent, but also make a trade. I mean, the Lakers' only move this offseason was literally giving Max Christie a 4-year extension. And yes, Max Christie is an amazing defender. He's a good young player that I expect to continue to develop. But he doesn't help the Lakers next season to win a championship, right? Sure, he can be a rotational piece, but he doesn't put the Lakers over the top even if he gets those minutes. So a guy that certainly does is Walker Kessler, Jeremy Grant, even Gary Trent Jr., the way that he shoots the basketball would be a huge addition to this team. Tyus Jones is another guy that I think would be a very good pickup to the Lakers. I mean, he's a guy who just doesn't turn the ball over. He's coming off of a season where he shot 49% from the field, 41 from 3, 80 from the line, 12 points a game. I mean, the guy averaged 7.3 assists, which was also a career best. He's a big upgrade over D'Lo, right? That's the thing with D'Lo, is he's not a bad player. He's only making about 18 million a year. But also, like, the Lakers, they didn't get that type of production in the playoffs from D'Lo. Like, D'Lo had an amazing regular season, but a bad postseason. So, and the best free agents available to this point are Tyus Jones, Gary Trent Jr., Sadiq Bey, Spencer Dinwiddie, Gordon Hayward, Isaac Okoro, Paul Reed. Paul Reed actually just got picked up by the Pistons. This isn't updated, but Precious Achiuwa, Lonnie Walker, and Kyle Lowry, right? So the only guy on this list that I think legitimately could take the Lakers to the next level is Tyus Jones. I think Gary Trent as a shooter could, but he's just not a good defender, right? He just does one thing, and that's shoot threes. But for the mid-level exception, probably not ideal for Trent. I think that's being generous giving him that. But Tyus Jones, if he were to take that, would be an absolute steal. But yeah, to this point, if I'm the Lakers, you got to do something, man, because it's July 9th. Free agency opened up, over a week ago, and the Lakers remain the only team that haven't made a move. So if not now, then will it ever happen, right?